Hello, I'm Ellen Foley and welcome back to Business 120. Today we're going to talk about human resources. There are two rising issues in the resource area, and those are work-life balance and diversity. I'm sure you've heard a lot of about work-life balance. The stress that people are feeling in the workplace is much higher than it was 20 or 30 years ago. There are more two-income families, there's more need for childcare. People who have children also are taking care of their elders. And we live in a world of 24/7 customer service, so that while we want time off, our customers seem to want us 24/7. We have found that efforts to reduce that stress do increase productivity and commitment in employees. And so you've seen many offerings, perhaps your parents or your grandparents or you yourself have received offers to work part-time, to flex at home. And we are seeing in the COVID experiments that people are working in their living rooms in Idaho when their company is headquartered in Chicago. This is a very interesting phenomena, and we believe at this moment that it's going to continue. Commitment and loyalty are increased by work-life balance offers, including job sharing, terms off, for example, the summer off to be with your children, and compressed weeks, working 10-hour days for 4 days. We know through research that your generation is extremely interested in work-life balance, and that 45% of you would choose workplace flexibility over a pay raise. Here are some of the reasons why people stay even when they aren't getting great work-life balance. The second to the last is that phrase, once again, company culture. People will give up a lot to stay at a place that treats them very well and offers them an environment that is comfortable and enjoyable. HR has many tips on how to reduce turnover. Here are some of them. One of the ones that was prominent recently was the efforts to reduce staff during COVID with dignity. That not only helps the person who is being let go, but it also tells the people who are going to stay that the place they work in has a heart. We are seeing great differences in race, ethnicity, and gender, not only in our communities, but in our workplaces. These present a lot of challenges, and the ability to recruit people and to retain them has become a massive job for the HR departments. There are advantages to cultural diversity that affect the bottom line. And here's a chart that is right out of your book. I'm not going to read through it, but you should do that when you do review your chapters. For example, a company that has diverse employees can have a cultural edge in terms of their marketing efforts. Entire teams of employees in HR departments are devoted to recruiting, and they use many technological tools, for example, LinkedIn. Their jobs are very, very busy. And you will find, and I'm sure some of you have stories for me, about how a resume that you've sent in doesn't get to a human being for several tries. It actually goes from LinkedIn or from a job site to a bot, that reads the resume, that scans the resume for keywords, and should that resume hit the correct number of keywords, it actually can make it to a human being. It's these kinds of efficiencies that these recruiters need to use to accommodate the volume of their work. Internal recruiting is somewhat of a competitor with external recruiting. However, it has advantages in that it motivates people who are already in the organization. It retains them. It is costly, however, to backfill those people. In Madison, it costs about $16,000 when an employee leaves or moves to a new job because of hiring and training costs to find that new employee. So just what are employee benefits? Well, here's a list of them, and this is right out of your book. You may not think of company cafeterias as a big benefit, and since most of us aren't working in a workplace, it seems a little arcane, but it's a big perk for people who have busy lives and are trying to work their 7.5 hours and get home. They can shorten their lunch break with a stop in the cafeteria. It's very helpful. Some companies still offer tuition reimbursement. Some offer child care services. The usual benefits are health, life, and dental insurance. The differences are how much copay you pay. Some companies who are considered best in class employers charge low copays, and that makes them very popular with employees. Pensions are becoming scarcer, but retirement programs such as 401ks still rule the day. Workers' compensation and unemployment compensation are required by law. Flexible benefit plans are also a buzz phrase in United States human relations departments. There's some controversy about whether these are really truly beneficial to employees or if they are ways to cut back on the amount of benefits that employees are given as part of their employment. This is an issue that you're going to face during your careers, and I encourage you to keep an eye on it. There are advantages. More freedom, more flexibility is seen as employee-friendly. However, there are disadvantages, and there are high costs to administer the plans, and that tends to trigger costs and reductions in the number of plans. So it becomes a little bit of a shell game. Yeah, you have more flexibility, but you have fewer benefits. Most people are not thrilled to have a performance appraisal, and that's an indication to me that they're not being handled well. First of all, you should not have a performance appraisal once a year. You should have one every time you feel the need for it, or once a month, or even once a week. That's something that you and your supervisor should be talking about. However, most large companies have them once a year. It's a march to the end of the year when everyone is trying to get their holiday plans in sync with their lives, and everybody is writing performance appraisals to the midnight hour. The benefits and the real uses of a well-done performance appraisal include letting workers know how they are doing and how they can do better. Why wait until the end of the year after everything has occurred? Wouldn't you like to know, as things are happening, if you've stepped out of line and need to be brought back in? I would. Performance appraisals are typically a way to figure out who gets promotions and who gets raises. The book distinguishes different ways of approaching these, and the objective method seems to be the most fair, but also, to me, the most rigid. Training, another buzzword in HR. The performance appraisal should keep track of what kind of training you're getting and what kind of training you're requesting. So these are some of the issues that we talk about when we're looking at our HR divisions, which, as I said, are increasingly growing larger and playing a more important role in the culture of a company and its financial success. So that's all for human resources. Please make sure you read your book. There's many more insights that you can gain from going through the chapters and reviewing them. Those questions will also appear on your test, so please make sure you read carefully. Once again, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in class soon. Bye-bye.